Hello everybody and welcome to the football betting series here on YouTube. Monthly update. I realise I've not done one of these in a little while. I think the last one was October or November, but with the World Cup and then a bit of a busy couple of months, it's sort of fallen off the radar. But with the international break just around the corner, I do have time to kind of go over the spreadsheet and see. If you're not really a spreadsheet person, this probably isn't the video for you. So I do appreciate it if you want to click off just now. Without further ado, let's quickly recap the games so far in March before looking at the zoomed out picture of the season. Starting off with the Premiership, we have turned a £23.80 profit with a 60% win rate. We did have a rough week on the second week where we did take a £60 hit before pulling back 15. But aside from that middle week, which was a bit of a freak result with Liverpool losing to Bournemouth, and we did have that extra goal in the Leeds game against Brighton, things weren't too bad actually. And we are coming off a perfect week where we did pick up £37.80, which is nearly 2 units of profit. Scrolling on down now, we have La Liga, and things are looking really promising in La Liga. We did take a hit on Sociedad against Cadiz in our first fixture, and then we failed to win a half-stake bet with Valencia, taking a £10 hit then. But we've won each of the last three, so we had a perfect week with just over 2 units of profit there. And we've also won 7 of our last 8. For the month of March, La Liga has a £63.20 profit, which is just over 3 units, and we're looking pretty strong with a 78% winning record. Things are not quite as good in Serie A, and let's take a look at that now. We do have a £10 loss and a 44% win rate, but let's have a little scroll just to see where things have gone wrong. Atalanta, despite their domination, failed to beat Udinese. Milan, this bet against Fiorentina was kind of the start of their troubles. But at 6-5, we only went for a half stake there, so I'm not too bothered about that. Lecce Torino, both teams score. I watched that game live, and it really should have come in. And then Monza, despite their domination in the second half, they did allow a goal against Cremonese to sour things there. So I can't really see any big mistakes being made here in Italy. It's just taking the rough with the smooth, and we're only down by a little bit. I think it's £10 down. Yeah, 9.20 down. So across the other leagues, we more than compensate for that. And then scrolling up, looking at the other, which contains the Champions League, Europa League, Conference League, and FA Cup fixtures. We are at a £22 or 1 unit profit, 58% winning record. Scrolling down onto the spreadsheet, we can see that we started off poorly with Dortmund to qualify and the Bayern PSG over 2.5. But since then, we've had quite a strong showing, only losing our half-stake bets with Arsenal Sporting, Union Berlin against Saint-Gilloise, Union Berlin, and Lazio to qualify. Maybe the one takeaway from this game, instead of halving my stakes, I could have just been a bit stronger and said, no, I don't need to put action on this match, because that would have saved us taking a £30 hit. But as I said, with Man City managing to sweep Burnley aside quite cleanly, we are up by 1 unit there and have a decent winning record in March. So let's have a look at how the season's looking overall. Okay, so here is our master database. There are always 2 elements to this monthly update video. We have the raw sort of mathematics in these columns here, and then we have our withdrawal tracker here. So let's start off with the raw maths. We are up over 23 units, or just about £475. Now this is the master one for all of the leagues. So what that does is it takes our total profit in August through to March away from our total losses, and it comes up with this number here. So, as we can see, we are fairly consistent for the season, 60% win rate, dipped there, peaked really in December, which I have to say was massively attributed to the World Cup, so we do know our stuff for international football, and we will have an international football video coming up later in the week, so that's pretty chill. Not the best month in February, but we've bounced back to about a 60% win rate. And really, 60 to 65 is kind of what I hope to achieve, and that's what I'm aiming for. Any other sort of freak results where you're down in the 50s or up in the 70s, they sort of balance each other out. But more or less, if you can stay at about a 60-65% win rate and pull out your profit from your account as you go along, you will make money in the long run. So we're going to break things down by league now. We've got the Premiership here. As you can see, we've tightened up our range as the season's come on. We started at average odds of about 6 to 5, which is unsurprising that we have the 50% win record there. But as we tighten things up, we're starting to see that winning percentage creep up. December, we had an 83% win rate. January, an 80% win rate. That was compensated, as I just said. When you swing too far one side, it's got to come back. And in February, it was a bit of a disaster of a month. 23% win rate, and we did take a 140 hit there. But we'd already done a lot of hard work earlier in the season, so we could afford to lose that, even though we didn't really want to. Overall, we're looking at a 63% win rate and a 110 profit, or 5 and a bit units. La Liga and Serie A are my two other leagues that I do like to focus on, but they're never quite as strong as the Premiership. Until this season, La Liga's doing really well. 60% win rate, 162 profit. And as you can see, as the season goes on and we start to understand the games a little bit more, we are tightening our range. Our average odds are going from the wrong side, in air quotes, of even money down into the 4/5 range. But apart from a couple of poor months at the start of the season, we have had a 75, 77, 66, 69% win rate. We're doing really well in La Liga, and we're going to hopefully keep that up as we press on through to April and the end of the season. Serie A has been a bit meh. We started off pretty strong with a 75% win rate, had an absolute disaster class in September. I think we went 1 of 8, if that's how the percentage works out. 16%? 1 of 8? But we did pull things back with October and November. No Serie A fixtures in December for the World Cup, not even in the early December period, unlike La Liga and the Premiership. There were just no Italian games at all, which seems a bit silly, really, because they didn't qualify. Anyway, since returning from the World Cup, we've had a bit of a very kind of average performance, really, and we are down for the season by almost 3 units with a 51% win record. Hopefully, we're going to pull that up a little bit over the course of April and May, but if there's something to take from this, maybe I should restrict the amount of games I go for and restrict maybe the amount of stake I'm putting on things. A couple half stakes to get things going again and build our confidence back up. So maybe steer clear of the next couple of Serie A predictions. Looking at the other records, this includes the European football and the different domestic cups. We are up £357.66. I'm pretty solid at my European football, so I'm happy to see that result there. And we've kept things fairly consistent throughout the season. We started off about even money, started to pull our range back a little bit, got a bit adventurous at the World Cup, but that's you're going to have funny odds at the World Cup anyway. And then we've tightened up as we've come back. Obviously, a lot of games are in the knockout phases as well, so it's so there's generally less action on offer, and you have to tighten your range and be more clinical than spreading a lot of bets out. Our win percentage, 63%. I'm really happy with that. £400 profit. Pretty happy with that as well. So yeah, let's keep it rolling. And in the latter stages of European competition, a lot of the quarterfinals and semi-final draws have been made, so I'll be doing some videos in the coming weeks featuring them. So that's the raw mathematics of how everything works out. So overall, if you average all that out, we're up nearly £500, 475 or 24 units. But that's not the way I really... Well, it is the way I bet, but it's not the way that I operate the system. So what I do is I keep my account balanced at about £200. Well, I say about. I do keep it balanced at £200 for this season. And anytime we have a couple of bets that run into one another, like in March, for example, what's the best example? This weekend here, bang, 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 3 wins, pull out the £37.80 profit, assuming that tips us over the 200, which it did. And then I record it here as we go day by day, how much money we're pulling out of the account, and that produces our progress line. So the goal for the series was to make £3,000 across the year. Perhaps slightly unrealistic and probably not achievable right now, but we can use this line, this red line that we're developing, which is our withdrawal, in order to set our target for next season. So we have we were 230 days in, £1,376 is what we pulled out of the account. That's all profit, but it is unfortunately about 5. Actually, I can have the proper figure here. I think it's about £500 to different from where we want to be. Is Here we are. We're on the 19th today. Yeah, £519 short of our target. But that, you know what? The target's not necessarily the focus for the series right now. It's just about setting the target ahead of next season. So 1371 is the score to beat currently. And as you can see, we pulled out £16 from the account yesterday. And that was here. That was the Real Betis Mallorca. £16 profit. So that's kind of how we're looking up for the progress. We're not going to achieve the £3,000 unless we go on a pretty insane run. But £2,000 we can probably set the target for and see if we can achieve that. So hopefully that's giving you a little insight into how the series is going. By and large, we're turning a profit mathematically and also on the amount of money we're pulling from the account. So please stay tuned for the future videos. We've got some international games coming up, which I will be covering. Hopefully you've made it to this point in the video, and if you have done, please drop a like down below. And as always, have yourself a lovely day.